Hello everyone, this is Kyle Ott for Draft Radio. Playing another battle for Zenikar draft after getting my arse handed to me in the last two that I've done. So I am 1 and 2 right now in battle for Zenikar, but we did open a sweet rare. Outcome Firebird is certainly going to be what we take here. Otherwise, this package is not that great. There's Horribly Awry, which is certainly fine. Tide Drifter is okay. Yeah, the rest is just not that great. Probably the next best card is either Ondu Greathorn, maybe Tide Drifter. But I do like me a Firebird. Firebird's pretty dope. As is Brood Monitor. I don't mind a Brood Monitor either. 6 mana 3/3s are generally not what I like, but when a 6 mana 3/3 makes a board state, and there's really not that much else in the pack either. There's a Malakir Familiar, which is certainly fine, but I don't think it's anything else. Next best card is probably Ondu Champion, maybe Culling Drone. But I like board states, so I do like board states. Let's see here. There's a Ruination Guide. Ruination Guide is pretty sweet, actually. Pumps all of your colorless dudes, comes into play, does things. There's not like a good red or green card in this pack either. They're all good blue cards, though, so I'll just take the Ruination Guide and see what shakes out. Well, again, there's no good red cards. There is a good blue-green card, which is Skywriter Elf. There's like Seek the Wilds, which has impressed me a little bit. Forerunner is fine, Kozilek's Channeler, but I'm just going to take this Eldrazi Sky Spawner. If I've got a Ruination Guide and a Sky Spawner, I think that's a solid back-to-back plays there. So let's see here. We can take a Culling Drone and move it on black if we so choose. The Giant Mantis is certainly fine as well. It does keep with our green cards. There's no good blue cards in the pack. The only good red card is probably Blighted Gorge, which is just really, really unexciting. I think I'm just going to take this foiled Giant Mantis. And we'll move on with our lives there. So no good blue cards again. There's a Dominator Drone, though. We've been getting past a lot of like Culling Drones. Maybe we can just take this black one and be alright that way. The other option is to, of course, take Blister Pot or Brood Hunter Worm and stick with green. But that seems unexciting. Although Brood Hunter Worm is fine, I guess. We'll stick with what we know. And then a Retreat to Emeria, which is the best card in this pack by a wide margin. Sure. Alright. So we are in no colors then. Maybe somebody is running the famous 5-color deck that's been floating around. We could certainly be 3 colors. We could be like, we could be Bant, be white, green, blue, if we get some good mana fixing. Goldraw's Overseer is awesome, but not what I want. At this point, I don't think I'm going into black. The next best card then would be Catacomb Shifter's pretty good. I guess I could take Goblin Warpaint if I wanted to try and force red. Lithomancer's Focus doesn't really do much. Plummet's fine for the sideboard, so we'll take the Plummet. Okay, Horribly Awry is still in the pack, but I'm going to take Ondu Greathorn. It's a passable card. Otherwise, my option is Stonehaven Cleric. Although Horribly Awry is not terrible. Would give us some counter support. I could always splash, too, for Retreat to Emeria. And is Ondu Greathorn even really worth going into a second color for? I'll take Horribly Awry here. Maybe I'm wrong. My plans could all go awry, certainly. Let's see. There's Royal Mage's Trick, which is pretty mediocre. To quote Mad Max, mediocre War Scrub. There's also Slab Hammer, which is colorless, and thus I'll take it. So let's see here. Tightening Coils to nerf a guy, or Swell of Growth to make a guy bigger and put a land on the battlefield. I think I'm just fine with Tightening Coils. We don't have any removal spells yet, and Tightening Coils is a pretty good impression of one. So we have Tightening Coils and Horribly Awry. So we are going to get some good blue out of this pack. The Ruination Guide is certainly going to be very good with the Eldrazi spawn. Like this on turn 3, and then play a Sky Spawner turn 4. I love how like Cthulhu-esque this looks. As I was saying in the beginning of the video, I have not figured this format out yet. Every time I think I did, I feel like I get a good deck, and I'm gonna do well, and then I just lose. part of that is when my draws have been pretty abysmal the last couple games I've played. And the other part is maybe I just don't know. I think I'm going to take Seek the Wilds here. There's still a chance that I could be in 3 colors. And I'm not going to go into black. I think red has sailed as well. And I don't know, there's worse things in life than tutoring for a creature or a land if you should you need one. I really do want to play this Retreat to Emeria. This card is insane. I thought it was just going to be good because you could just make 1/1s all day long, but the pumping everybody option on this card is just stupid. It's just absolutely busted in a lot of ways. So, with any luck, we'll get to play this. We have some decent cards right now. I'm not super confident in our in our ability to play this, but we'll see. All right, here. Let's think about this. So what do we need to see? I guess I could play Slabhammer. Slabhammer just seems way too slow. I mean, like it's fine, I'm sure. Like I'm sure in the right deck it's decent. You can like use it to reoccur landfall constantly. I guess you could like return a land-based creature that has been pacified in some way, like with Tightening Coils. That could work. Or if they use the instant speed active treason, you could reactive treason your guy, but all that seems pretty conditional. Reclaiming Vines for the sideboard. If my opponent has like a ridiculous artifact, enchantment, or land, we've got one. And Altar's Reap, which is not going to get played at all. Alright, so we've got a pretty mediocre deck thus far. Hopefully we'll get something good in this pack, and we'll see what we get our hands on. There's a Mist Intruder, Transgress the Mind, bad. All of this is terrible, so we're in 3 colors and there's nothing decent. Clutch of Currents is the best card, and I think that's what we'll take. Mist Intruder is fine, Core Castigator is fine, Smite is fine, but Clutch is true to its name, so... Alright, now let's see if we get something good here. Well, a Duststalker, a Goldraz Overseer, things that there's really nothing that I want. Well, that's unfortunate, again, but that's okay. We're just going to take this Eyeless Watcher. 4 mana 3/3s are fine. Although I guess there's also a Cloud Manta as well, and a Ghostly Sentinel. Ondu Rising can be pretty swingy. But I'll do what's best and just take either this 4 mana 3/3 or this 4 mana 3/2 flyer. I think let's take the one that accelerates me out. I might get some big guys later on in the draft that I want. Skyrider Elf. If I wind up in 3 colors, it's decent. If I wind up just in green-blue, it's a 2/2 flyer for 2. Am I for sure in 3 colors? Let's think about this. There's also a Halimar Tidecaller, which is pretty sweet. From what you can, so yeah, I can return an Awaken card. That seems really good. That will allow me to get back Clutch. And then if I get something like Sheer Drop again, yeah, I think Halimar Tidecaller is just going to be the pick here. No, all my lands have flying. They're also colorless creatures, which means the Ruination Guide pumps them, which is pretty absurd. Gideon's Reproach is great. Fertile Thicket is something I would like to pick up if I'm going to be 3 colors. I'm just going to take this Eldrazi Sky Spawner, though. Value is value. Can't really say no to free flyers for days. There's a Prairie Stream, which I would like to see. But I think I'm just going to take Sheer Drop here. I need a little removal. And I think with Seek the Wilds, and if I can wheel like a Fertile Grove, and maybe one of the elves that taps for any color land, I can actually make this work. Plus, Sheer Drop works really well with Halimar Tidecaller. So I think we can get some good things going on with 3 colors. I think, Kyle says, in a very hesitant way. Because in the pick now, I really was hoping to get like an early card, an early drop of some kind. I could just take another Broodhunter Worm, but my 4-drop slot is already pretty glutted. Although I guess I could take Shadow Glider, and that cements me in 3 colors, or I could take Dispel for a sideboard, but that seems bad. Wavewing Elemental could be a good finisher. Certainly does give me something to accelerate out to with all those Eldrazi spawn that I'm making. I think it's between either Shadow Glider, Broodhunter Worm, and Wavewing Elemental. There's Ghostly Sentinel too. I've been very impressed with how this card works and how that plays. But right now, I just don't think I have a need for it. I could be totally wrong. I'll just take the Waving Elemental. I might need a finisher of some kind. Sure. Grove Tender Druids is fine. I guess if I get allies, I mean, Retreat to Emeria makes allies, which is good. Halimar Tidecaller is also an ally. So yeah, we'll take Grove Tenders. There's some upside on that one, certainly. Clutch of Currents #2 is great. Core Castigator is pretty sweet. Although Ally Encampment would be nice, but I think I just want a 2-drop here. I'll take Ghostly Sentinel over Sandstone Bridge. I will 100% take Coral Helm Guide. This card is absurd. If you haven't played it, it's dope as heck. Fertile Thicket is going to be what we take here. This is going to be key to our mana fixing strategy, as is Prairie Stream. Sorry, Expedition Envoy. We're probably passing a really sick aggro deck of some kind, but in favor of this 3-color jank nonsense. But so let's see right now. We've got a Fertile Thicket, a Prairie Stream, and a Seek the Wilds. And I think that's actually a pretty solid start to 3 colors. Like, I think there's decent stuff there. Dispel's fine as a sideboard card, too. So realistically, what am I looking for? A little more mana fixing would be solid. A bomb of some kind would be solid as well. I wouldn't mind that either. This is the 3rd Gold Draws Overseer we have seen. This card is busted. I would just like everyone to know that this card is great. And I am sad that I did not jump into black and take it, but that is okay. Sometimes it happens and you just don't take stuff. There's a Cryptic Cruiser, which could be very good, although I don't necessarily think I have anything that with Ingest to make it decent. I have 1 card with Ingest, which is the Ruination Guide, and then a Horribly Awry, which is fine, but this just makes this a 4-mana 3/3. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Natural Connection and make sure that I've got all of the ways to make this work and make my 3-color nonsense applicable. I'll take another Halimar Tidecaller, though. It works very well with my ally plan. It works very well with my Awaken cards, of which I have a couple decent ones. I think that's a fine pickup there. Incubator Drone is fine. There's a Barrage Tyrant, which is an amazing card. There's a Grip of Desolation, which is also an amazing card. Man, I missed the boat on bombs. We're playing 3-color average. It's just we're just not playing the greatest stuff. That's certainly fine though. Let's see here. Put a card in opponent's graveyard. Oracle of Dust is, I'm sure that card is decent, but I'll just take a Cloud Manta here. I will take to the skies. Dragonflies, maximize. If anyone remembers that show from the 90s, my hat's off to you. Yeah, I think this is solid. It's a decent deck. I don't know if it's insane. Lifespring Druid is great though for our deck. For our purpose, the Lifespring Druid is awesome, as it certainly makes this deck a lot more playable. What don't I need in here? Probably Ghostly Sentinel. Doesn't seem all that great. Lumbering Falls, on the other hand, is awesome, as it fixes our mana, and gives us a 3/3 blue-green hexproof creature, should we need it. Which is a solid card. Take another Clutch of Currents over a Felidar dude. What do I want to cut, though? I gotta cut a card. Maybe Cloud Manta. Sure, Tajuru Stalwart is actually great in our deck. It's basically a 3-mana 3/4. What do we want to cut? Well, we'll find out. There's another Tidecaller. Oh my gosh. We're going to get so much value off these Tidecallers. And another Clutch of Currents. Oh man. Okay, so I have 3 Clutch of Currents already. I think I just want another Tidecaller. 3 Tidecallers, 3 Clutch of Currents, a Sheer Drop, Plenty of allies. We'll cut the 6-drop, dude. I don't know if I need that necessarily. Natural Connection or Seek the Wilds. I think I'm actually just going to play the Seek the Wilds. I think it's better because it can tutor for creatures. And then like between this and then we've got the... So between the Seek the Wilds, the 1 elf, and then the 3 lands that basically tutor for other lands, I think we're going to be solid. And I think the rest of this is just gravy. I'm not going to play Inspired Presence or Titan's... I'm not going to play Inspired Charge or Titan's Presence. These are neither of the decks for that. I think I'm just going to hate draft the Belligerent Whip as it's the strongest card. I would normally play Blighted Cataract if I had the deck for it. Do I have the deck for it? Is playing Blighted Cataract worth doing? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 creatures, so I have enough creatures to make this good. I'm going to take the Blighted Cataract. I might actually play Blighted Cataract. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to play it or not. I don't think I'm going to play Broodhunter Worm. I think I'll actually put in my Wavewing Elemental, maybe. I think I need another finisher. An Elemental is pretty good. Although I don't know. Maybe it isn't. We'll see what this deck needs. I'm not convinced I know what this deck needs just yet. There's an Incubator Drone. I'm just going to hate draft the Barrage Tyrant because it's insane and I just don't want it to happen. I could take another Horribly Awry, which would give me something decent. There's also Tajuru Beastmaster, which does pump my team and give me a 5/5 finisher. I think that's just better. I don't think I'm going to play another one of those. I will definitely play 2 Fertile Thickets, though, and a Mist Intruder. Okay, so let's put this Fertile Thicket, this Prairie Stream, the Lumbering Falls. All that stuff is going back in. And we'll see what happens here. So Tapped Out is like loading still. That's fine. I think we've got a really interesting... We've got an interesting deck. I always like playing more than 2 colors. Part of me misses Khans like more than life itself because I wanted Khans to be back. What are we going to call this deck? Jank Bond, Jank Fall, obviously, because it's just a great name for a deck. Okay, so what we're looking at here thus far, I think we've got a pretty solid group of creatures and lands. Seek the Wilds is definitely going to stay in the deck. Sheer Drop is fine. Retreat to Emeria is great. Horribly Awry is awesome. Fertile Thicket is good as well. So realistically, we've got 19, 21, 22 cards, right? That's 14 and 5 is 19, 19 and 2 is 21, 21 and 1 is 22. So I basically actually get to add another card to the deck, which is sweet. I need to figure out what card that is going to be, certainly. But that gives me some time to think. Because I don't think I'm going to play 18 land. Because here's why. I have 2 Fertile Thickets, which are going to tutor up land, as much as I would like them to. Let's do this. Let's do land first. I just want to make sure that I Fertile Thicket, which is 2. I just want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly, because I think I'm going to play this Blighted Cataract. I think Blighted Cataract is going to be sweet because it's going to give us some extra good card advantage in the late game, which I think our deck is going to struggle with a little bit. Lumbering Falls was a sweet pickup, and Prairie Stream is, of course, solid as well. So with all of that being said, or maybe I should just play 18 land. Well, let's think about this here. We have, how many of our early drops are blue and green? Okay, so blue is predominantly the main source of our deck. So we need to have at least 7 blue symbols. And then right now, off the land that we have, off the Lumbering Falls and the Prairie Stream, we have 2 blue symbols. We have 1 white symbol and then we have 1 green symbol off of basically 2 land, which is awesome. Like, that's great for us. So let's see. That's 2 land. We're also playing the 2 Fertile Thickets, bringing it to 4. Bloody Cataracts brings it to 5, which means that we realistically have 12 land to play around with. We have 4 whites. We have 4 white cards, 2 white symbols. So of course we're going to play 2 plains, which brings the grand total of land to 7. Which means we've got 10 land to play around with, and then we can just do 5 green, which brings it to 7 green sources, and then 5 islands. I'd rather do, what is it? I'd rather do 4 forests, and then 6 island. So let's see, if we do 4 forests, 6 island, this brings it to 7 blue sources, 8 blue sources, 7 green sources, and 4 white sources in the deck. And I actually think that that's awesome. And then that gives us 1 other card to play around with. What do I want? Do I want an early drop of some kind? Or do I want a finisher? I think Tajuru Beastmaster is just going to be insane. Although I don't know. Maybe Wavewing Elemental to finish the game out. Yeah, we'll put a Wavewing Elemental in the deck just to see if that works okay. I don't know if that's going to be the best card. But I think a big flyer to finish out the game is probably what our deck wants. I could be wrong here. I could be very wrong. I just really like that Halimar, the 3 Halimars, and then of course we've got like 4 things that awaken, and a retreat to Emeria as well to help stall out the game. I think we're in a solid shape to make this deck really good. Could be wrong. Could be very wrong, but I think we're in good shape. It's certainly going to be interesting. I can take out this land. Alright, I think I know what our deck's plan is, folks. I'm just going to go and copy and paste the sideboard in, and I'll see you all in round 1.